Hello everybody and welcome back to this week's real estate update on Pensacola Beach in Gulf Breeze, Florida. All right, jumping right in. Portofino last week saw its first week in as many weeks as I can remember that did not have one of their condos closed. However, right now there are 3 that are either contingent or pending, which means in the next few weeks we will see those on our closed category that we go over on a weekly basis. If you're actively in the market looking at Portofino, there are 23 units that are available. And remember, keep in mind, there are 5 towers that are existing today, which represents 765 total units. Moving on down the beach, looking at the remainder of the condos that are out there, there was one that was closed last week. And if you're still in the market for a condo, there's 28 actively on the market today that are able to be looked at and kind of selected from. When we move on to beach houses, so single family residents on the beach, one more unit closed last week with an available active inventory today of 44. All right, so looking at total dwellings residential on Pensacola Beach, right now there are a total of 28 that are either in a contingent or a pending stage. And if you remember what I just said, 3 of those are Portofino units that are scheduled to close in the next few weeks. Moving on down to Gulf Breeze, another very popular market. Last week, Gulf Breeze was very strong again. 14 homes closed last week in Gulf Breeze in itself. There are currently 101 homes in Gulf Breeze that are either listed as contingent or pending. So just as we just referenced on the Pensacola Beach properties that are contingent or pending, we will see those move to the closed line item that we would go over each week in the next few weeks. Those that are actively looking at Gulf Breeze, as it stands today, there are 210 total properties that are available to be looked at and actively for sale on the market today. So each week I try to bring the audience some helpful information about the area, specific to the beach, local area, and so on. So one of the things that's been happening across the state of Florida this year is House Bill 631, all right? And so for those that are not familiar with it, basically what's happened is there's been some, not necessarily changes in law, but the way the law is viewed for property owners along the coastal areas of the state of Florida. Now, what I'm not here to do is get into a debate on what's right and what's wrong with it, but I am here to inform you on what this means for Pensacola Beach specifically. As near as Destin, Florida, which is a little east of here, and on down, there's been some recent uproar and quite frankly, some combative situations that have come about over public beach access versus private beach ownership and access. Restricted access to the public is a better way to say it. I've provided some information in the body of this weekly update and also a link that you can kind of get a firsthand perspective from a video clip that's on there in that news article, but also some more information that's been reported in the local media. Feel free to take a look around various websites. Simple Google searches will show you that this type of thing is happening all over the coastal communities up and down the state of Florida. What I did want to point out, and the purpose of this is to bring some clarity on how this impacts Pensacola Beach. So the way that Pensacola Beach, Santa Rosa Island has been established since its beginning does not allow for that. So the Santa Rosa Island Authority basically was put in place to regulate how the Santa Rosa Island Authority, which we know as Pensacola Beach, how progress, building, and everything can happen on that island. So the great news is for those that are interested in Pensacola Beach from a ownership standpoint or simply coming down here to vacation or looking at alternatives from other markets that are going through this chaos, we'll call it right now, Pensacola Beach, the beaches are owned by nobody. They are owned by the federal government, which grants public access to everybody regardless of ownership on the island or beach itself. And that means that there are no roped off areas that can restrict where you can place your umbrella, set up with your family to enjoy the beach for the day and enjoy your vacation or your residence on the island anywhere you may live, even if you're not on the direct Gulf access. So I hope this was very informative for you. I try to bring a little bit of new content each week to keep you up to date and learn more about this great place that we get to call home. But take a look. And again, if there's any other areas that you'd like to get more information on outside of just Pensacola Beach and Gulf Breeze, please feel free to reach out. I'm happy to help you with that information. But again, those of you that have been keeping up, I really broke this weekly market update down to 2 submarkets to really kind of provide a specialized niche product for you guys to take a look at and be kept up to date on a weekly basis. So with that, everybody have a fantastic day and weekend, and I will see you next week.